Good evening. I'm here looking over the indexes, see what happened so far this year. So far, the end of November, it looked like it kicked off pretty good. We got a couple of disclaimers I'm going to give you, and I'd like to thank Thinkorswim for the charts you're going to see. And I use Grok to do my research. Pretty unbiased, works well. So first, we're going to look at is SPY. I'm going to be looking at weekly and monthly charts, and you can see them. We compare them. Some of them I'll do longer time frames. So we can see we've had a pretty good month this run. We came down to the 4 SMA, and then we had a big push. We have an all-time high, ended the month with a bang. So on Monday, we could pull back a little bit. We do have a pretty good run here. We can look at the year. The year is a little stretched also, but the quarters look nice and steady. So we have the 2 simple moving average, the 4 simple moving average, and the 8. Couldn't ask for a better trajectory than that. All right, let's look at QQQ. And we have a similar story here, but we have probably a little bit more of a stretch. And back in 2021, we had that same deal and we had a big correction. So after January 1st, you keep a short leash, see which way it keeps going. And we can look at the weekly. It's a little ragged here in August, September, and then cleaned up and started to move nice. We had a big push, an all-time high of 514, pulled back below the 4 SMA, got back above, and it's moving nicely. No sign of weakness in that chart. And we'll look at Dow Jones. Did I spell it right? Here we go. Can't type. Okay, so we got the weekly chart here on the left. It's a little up and down, but we have a nice steady 8 simple moving average. It's pretty steady. And if we look on the monthly chart, we have a big push, a little correction, get one close below the 4. We hit the 4, got above the 2, and then we stayed above the 2 SMA until September, pulled back to the 4, and then shot off like a rocket. As we get farther away from the 8, it's going to try to correct. So that's on a month. Let's look at, we got the yearly. And since 2012, every year has closed out above the 4 SMA. That's all you could ask for. You can see in the quarters, I can't even tell what year this is here. This is probably 2021 correction, but on the yearly chart, it looks steady. That's a nice, probably 12, 13% return. All right, next chart. Let's look at healthcare. That's interesting. So UNC Healthcare had been on a run, and you can see here it's got a little weak, but it's still above the 4 SMA. This is the whole sector. And you can see past few weeks, it's been to try to correct again above the 4. And this is kind of interesting because we now closed out above last month's close slightly. If we can get back into this territory, we could end the year higher, but no guarantee to that. We got to keep an eye on that. All right, let's look at VTI. Okay, is the total index, Vanguard total index. That's looking at everything as a whole. And on the year and the month, we push the month way up. What happens when we push the month up? What's going to happen next month? Beware. Kind of here a little bit. Lots of news. And then we have year. Okay, the Vanguard index for the past 2 years, like a rocket. What happens when we get too far away from the 4 SMA, which is right there? Tries to pull back and correct. We could have another month, and then after the 1st of January, beware. Let's look at energy, XLE. All right, this is the yearly energy. It's up there quarter after quarter. It's holding up. If you had got into the energy sector at the bottom of COVID, you would be up from 33 to 95. So while everything was collapsing in SPY and Qs, you would have been coming up on this one. But it's a nice return, but the energy sector is a little volatile. let's look at real estate. XLRE. Yearly real estate. Peaked out in 21. And we've had 2 good years. Quarter's a little ragged. That's what else we got here. XLF Financial. All right. Yearly chart financial. It's rocking and rolling with everything else. Same thing. We had 2 good months, positive territory. You can see, 2 good years of positive territory. And you can see how the financial market every year it dances around the 2 simple moving average right there. And now we've had 2 years above. What's going to happen after the first? Use your imagination. And we can see even on this weekly chart, the banks are moving. Well, we're going to call that and leave it at that. If there's anything else you want me to look at and as a big picture, give me a holler.